Okay, you sons of a bitches. This is the Luke and Pete Show. I'm Pete Donaldson. I'm joined by Mr. Lukey Moore. Lukey Moore, how the devil are you doing? You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch.
SOB. Yeah, SOB.
Stirred Mackin bastard. SMB.
Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch. Oh,
Do your best one. Do your best one.
I've just realised the window's open. That's not ideal.
Do your best one.
I can't because the window's open because the camera gets too hot.
Okay,
the camera
go
gets
close the
too
window
hot.
then. You want the window open or closed?
I want the window open, but I can't be shouting "son of a bitch" at the
Yes,
top
you
of my
can.
lungs. Son of a bitch.
There you go. Son of a bitch. Let me do one. Ready?
Bitch.
Whoa, that was quite the journey.
Whoa.
Let me try one. Ready? I'll do a really kind of American, really pissed off one. Ready?
Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
You went into the blurch too much. Like a son of a birch. Like you're shouting at a tree. Silly.
Should I do like a really camp one?
Yeah.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Why are they from
You
Cornwall?
son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch. That's more like a sort of vocal fry kind of California.
Yeah, there's a bit of campness in that, though, isn't there?
You son of a bitch.
Why are you talking like that?
Interesting. We should
Peter.
start vocal frying.
I think we should. That was a real big thing around the serial era of podcasts.
It was, yeah. People were talking about that quite a lot. Do you know who invented the conversational advert in America? Do you know adverts was like, well, when you're homered with kids,
Was it
was
it the guy who endorsed Subway that then turned out to be a paedophile?
It wasn't Jared the paedophile, no.
How do you know his name?
It wasn't Jared Big Trouser paedophile, no, it wasn't. Who, like, knowing what you know about me, hearing about a man who got given $5 million by the Subway Corporation.
It's probably going to be a wrestler. It's going to be...
Yeah, I think he's wrestler adjacent. I think January 6th, wrestling... Jared from Subway, just general sex crimes. They're all kind of related. They're all kind of in that same...
Give me the answer.
What was the question?
That's the Luke and Pete Show goal that we come for.
Show some fucking respect. What was the question?
That was Phil Neville style, that was. Make a big point about someone interrupting you, then forgetting the question.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Son of a Bitch Show.
It was Jim from The Office, the
was
American
it?
Office. Yeah, he started doing, around about the first couple of seasons of The Office, he started doing quite a lot of voiceovers, and he basically invented his own style of kind of like, hey, how you doing? I'm your friend. Buy these drugs, and all that stuff. So, yeah, all that.
I bet it worked.
Get some Panera Bread. I've never had Panera bread.
I've been to Panera loads.
Panera. I want some Panera Bread. Why is it so nice? Why do people talk about Panera Bread? I had tripe yesterday.
Oh, okay. Well, listen, we need to unpack all of this.
Right.
Would you like to do tripe first or Panera first?
I had tripe in a nice Italian restaurant, and it was about as good as it gets.
Were you in Trillo? Where were you?
Is it de Pulpo? Something de something?
Oh, Pulpo, yeah. What, the one in Soho?
No, not Pulpo. That's Portuguese.
Pulpo means octopus in Italian, yeah.
Right. No,
There's a
it's not
restaurant
that one.
called Pulpo.
It's de Culpo, de Cuspo or something. It's near where I used to live.
Never
I walked
heard of
past my old house. It was a vibe. It was a whole vibe. There was this old lady who was getting, who was like sat on a park bench, and a younger lady was basically looking after her. And she'd called the police because this woman was just not having a good time. And the police came over, and they were just trying to sort of fit. And I was doing my work. I was editing rest of me, and on a park bench. And these three policemen were trying to figure out where this woman lived, but she was just, she was pretty gone. And it was just a really kind of difficult, this is kind of what 99% of policing is, isn't it? Just helping, just kind of getting people into the system. So I did not, I mean, to be honest, halfway through it, one of them got bored and just went on his phone. It's funny. But it was a difficult job.
Did the police officers in question seem like nice fellas?
They did. Very young. Oh, aren't they young? Aren't police officers young these days?
Do you know what? When my granddad was, my granddad sadly passed away in hospital about, I don't know what it was, 6-7 months ago. And I do know when it was. It was the 30th of November. Anyway, there were, I mean, he was in this particular ward where, people are, on palliative care or whatever.
Yeah.
But there was overspill in that hospital. And there were a couple of older people in there he actually had his own room, but in the kind of ward next to it, where I overheard one of the staff nurses or the sister or whatever saying like that we have got nowhere for these people to go. Like they're effectively fine to go, but they're vulnerable.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that comes down to the discretion of the staff on the particular ward or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's just nowhere for them to go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's actually really sad. Like there's no kind of thing in place for this to be sorted or for people to be looked after. And, it's the old cliche, isn't it? The amount of wealth there is in the country, there's so many poor people and so many kind of vulnerable people. It's terrible, really. On the, do you want to just pivot back to Panera Bread?
Crack on. Probably
So
for the best.
You've never been to Panera?
I've never been to Panera. I don't really know what it is. Is it Italian?
So Panera's it's almost like it's basically like, the way I would describe it would be almost like an American kind of Pret that does its own bread. So you can buy bread in there to take away.
Bread shouldn't be the feature.
But it's like a cafe.
Right, okay.
Well, the reason you want to know why bread is a feature? I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because
Why?
the common or garden off the supermarket shelf bread in the United States is disgracefully poor. It's like, have you not
Mighty
seen,
white.
like I've seen before people taking a slice of American white bread and just rubbing it between their hands and it just crumbles into dust.
It just crumbles into dust,
It's
Nice.
sugary, dusty nonsense, and it's really, really apparent when you go from here to there. Loads of American food is like great. Like I actually really love a lot of the culture around American food in certain parts of the US, but I mean places like New Orleans and New York City and large parts of the Deep South, some of the best meals I've ever had have been like down in Alabama and Georgia and places like that. But what Americans are asked to put up with in terms of the quality of their supermarket food is just dreadful, and bread is a really a really big example of that. So I think a lot of these other places that do kind of a little bit more thoughtful, kind of not quite artisan, but actually decent bread with decent ingredients.
It's treated as like a luxury rather than just a normal
there was a place
for bread.
I mean, to be fair though, Pete, you can do that here. I mean, there's a few bakeries near where I live where you can buy a loaf of bread for £8 if you want, and it tastes great. But
yeah, but like even supermarket stuff is probably better than stuff, the general stuff. Because you don't really see like your mighty whites anymore. Everything's gone a bit brown, a bit seeded. There's a lot of seeds cracking on.
We only really have like seeded bread in our house. So we just got into the habit of it. Are you the same?
Yeah, we're the same. Bit of bit of blue milk for my daughter,
for the Ben,
and for the dads, and like a little bit of oat milk for. So I rarely actually have a bit of white bread. It's delicious when you have it, though, isn't it? It's
nice,
like eating a pizza.
It's really
like
nice.
Eating a pizza base.
By the way, if you can hear my cat in the background, I've moved to. It's actually, I forgot to tell you this. So I've moved to a new house, and so I'm now in a house rather than the flat, and it's on a hill. So the back of the house is 3 stories and the front of the house is 2 stories, and the place I record now is right at the top of the house. And I actually realised that people who listen to the Luke and Pete show kind of regularly will know that back in the day when I recorded at home, one of my cats would always be around, like meowing and stuff. It's right by the back door. I realised the other day that he has obviously seen me recording as quite a nice thing, and I think he thinks I'm talking to him, because every time I start recording now, he tries to find me.
Oh, that's nice.
I can hear him meowing all around the house now, trying to find me.
Oh,
I think he's missing it. I think he's missing our chats. Which is so funny. What a cute
he's
boy.
the only one that is.
Can I ask on the bread thing? Can I also ask you, Peter, if you don't mind?
Yes.
So on the white bread thing, I would say there are certain sandwiches which really suit white bread. I'd say that bacon sandwich is really good with white bread. But I wanted to know where you stand on the butter versus spread versus margarine debate.
I think margarine gets a bad rap. I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with it, but we're a butter only house, and like proper like salty butter.
Well, spreadable butter though. You get the spreadable in the tub mixed with the rapeseed oil, the olive oil.
Nah, you just leave it out. Just leave it out on the side.
But if you do that, particularly in the summer, and you try and eat it a day too late, my God, it is disgusting.
Really?
When it turns. Have you not had the butter turn on you? I mean, you must be getting through a lot of it.
Never had the chance. Had the chance. Sarah eats so much butter.
When it turns, mate, it is
vicious.
Yeah, she's a cruel mistress when it turns.
Duplicitous.
When she turns. I tell you don't want to be around.
I sometimes make my own garlic butter for garlic bread. Garlic bread.
Do you blanch the butter? Do you blanch the garlic first to soften the flavour?
No, not if you're getting the garlic out of a tin. It's absolutely tasty.
Oh yeah, you're the lazy garlic guy, aren't you?
Lazy garlic man. Yeah.
You even use a lazy garlic when you get HelloFresh, where they give you a bulb of garlic every delivery.
Yeah, but then Sarah's of the opinion, like you are, that you have to strip the garlic before you put it in the presser. And we've been through this on the show.
What about this then? I reckon that HelloFresh might be one of the biggest single purchases of garlic in the UK.
Maybe.
They put a bulb of garlic in every box.
Nobody ever use it though, do they?
I
just get the lazy garlic.
Do you know who the biggest manufacturer of tyres is in the world?
Manufacturer of tyres?
Yeah, who makers of tyres in the world?
Oh, God. I don't know. Goodyear? I don't know.
Nope. I'll give you 2 more guesses.
All right. The greatest manufacturer of tyres. Who would make tyres? Honda? I don't know if I know.
Nope.
Landsail. Is that a tyre? I feel like that's a tyre.
But the answer is Lego.
What? Oh, yeah. Because they're small. Fuck off.
No, it's, they make so many of them.
Yeah, I bet they do. Yeah, but I mean, also fuck off.
I thought that was a good bit of trivia, Peter.
It's not. It's a trick, is what it is. That's the worst kind of trivia.
It makes me feel clever, and it makes you feel stupid.
Because it's not. It's not a tyre that we understand. You can sort of say, well, all right, well,
it's not a tyre you understand. So if your 3-year-old daughter says to you, "Daddy, what's this?" You're going to go, "I don't know."
No,
I just understand this concept that's being presented to me.
It's a tyre, but it's not a real tyre. It can't be used as a tyre. It's a tyre
on a tiny wheel.
It's an avatoristic reproduction of one.
I'd like to hear what the Lego Spaceman thinks about that. Because to him, it's very much a tyre. My son's going through an amazing period at the moment where he wants to play with he calls them his blocks, but they're basically Duplo Lego. And he wants to play with them before nursery every day. And we get to a certain point where we say, okay, right, now we've got to go to nursery, so you can do 3 more blocks, right? And this morning it was like, Daddy, I'm making a power truck. I was like, okay. Wow. I said, you can do 3 more blocks, so we've got to go to nursery because Daddy's got to go to work. All right, so we count down the blocks. 3, 2, 1, right? And he does them. And then he says, right, now, you point at me and pointing at the Wi-Fi I have access to, his mum, you don't touch it, and you don't touch it. And then this morning he went, and no one comes in here. No one comes in here. So, okay, mate, we won't go in the living room. We won't touch it. And then I see him there, like almost like with this photographic memory ambition of like staring at everything, thinking if anyone touches this, when I come back, I'm going to pull the house down with my rage. So,
I mean, obviously, naturally, the first thing you do is... But you're thinking about it now. Go and get it. Go and get it.
No, wait, because toddlers could just switch, and it comes from nowhere. All I did was I just very carefully closed the living room door. Thought I put a sign up.
What if a cat nudges it?
I know.
I know, right?
I'm not sure if you'll remember. The thing is, they do switch very unpredictably. But you can also distract them with treats and stuff, can't you? So it'll be fine.
Nice.
By the way, Peter, I have some reasonably exciting news for you. Emphasis on the reasonably. I was in your neck of the woods yesterday.
Were you?
I was in Rochford yesterday.
Rochford? Why were you in Rochford?
How close is that to where you live?
Very close. It's where I bought some things from Airbnb, where my daughter's social worker was living for a bit. Yeah.
So I was playing golf at Rochford 100.
Why were you playing at Rochford 100?
Guess who plays there? Guess who's a member there?
Who?
Guess.
I don't know.
Big guy.
Gary Lineker.
Big guy. Lives near you.
Oh, Pav. Big Short Pav.
Yeah.
How did he give you short shrift on your skills?
He was actually very generous with his time and his compliments.
Right.
But we actually ended up all square in a match play environment, but he gave me a shot at hole because he's off 14 and I'm off 30. So
right. What time are you down? I could have come. Stinking a tripe.
I did think that, but you know what? We said we were going to play, and then he said to me quite last minute, because it's quite an exclusive golf club, and he's like, I've only got 4 free membership rounds a year.
Yeah. It's the old Tiger Woods isn't allowed on certain courses, is it? P.T. Donaldson's not allowed on Rochford Golf Course. I was at a golf course today. I was walking my dog.
I held up a photo of you at Rochford 100 and they said no professionals.
No professionals,
No, but
please.
basically it was quite a last minute thing and I actually had to get back because it's so far away from where I live.
I wasn't going to stop you from leaving.
Oh, no, you wouldn't. I would have been very happy.
I wasn't going to show you Shoebury. I wasn't going to show you Chalkwell.
I was sitting in McDonald's in Rayleigh on the way back and I thought to myself, I should have gone to Pete's house. But by the time I finished playing golf, it was right in the middle of like bedtime routine time. And I was like, there's no way.
You've been to McDonald's rarely. Did you drive?
Yeah.
So you came from Rochford, went back on the arterial. You could have picked up my Wix order from fucking Wix.
Sorry, mate.
Screwfix.
If there's any consolation, I will play there again.
I've got a circular saw waiting for me.
I will play there again, and I'll hit you up. But it was great fun,
Yeah.
and it's great to see
Lovely.
Big Pav. The great thing about Pav is, right, he basically said he was in a business meeting the other week, and he saw the guy's phone he'd left his phone face up on the desk, and he'd been listening to the Ramble.
Right.
And Pav said to him, "Oh, you're a Ramble guy?" And he's like, "Yeah, I love it." And he goes, "Oh yeah," and Pav said, "Oh, I know a couple of the Ramble lads." And the guy just apparently his face just dropped, and he went, "You're Big Pav, aren't you?" But anyway, the thing about Pav is,
Big Pav.
he is, and I got this confirmed by the big man yesterday because I was asking him about it. He is 6'4" and almost 130 kilos.
Look,
He is
stop this.
absolute
Stop this.
tank.
Not in a World Cup year. You're not allowed. You got to do stones and pounds. Like, I'm sorry.
Okay, sorry.
This has to end.
He's 6'4",
Right.
and I'll tell you what that makes him in stones and pounds, right? Because he's a big unit.
What kg did you say he was?
Almost 130.
130. Now
It's
that
basically
is,
about 20 stone.
He would not be allowed near my glass balustrade because the limit, I think it'll take the weight of a 60 kilogram man leaning directly on it, basically.
A what kilogram man?
A 60 kilogram man. Like
But that's
pushing
basically
as
no
hard as he-
one. That's a child. That's a child.
It's not a child.
60 kg.
It's not a child. It's not a child.
So you
60
have put
kgs.
together a
60
balustrade
kg
as
is
a
like
feature.
10 and a half. 10 and a half? 10 and a half.
As a feature
I'm fairly I think
your
15
house.
millimetre glass balustrade will take the
That's
weight.
9 stone.
The weight, yeah, the weight of a 9 stone man.
Tell
yeah.
me the last 9 stone man you met.
But you're not putting
Warwick
all of
Davis.
your weight. You can't put all of your weight on any of it. Like, you can't put all of your weight on. You would have to lay it down, 4-poster it, and then stand in the middle as a 9 stone man. That's the thing.
I'm not going to do that.
And you had to convert, and you had to convert that from 60 to whatever.
I did.
So it
Just
just proves
popped
that
into
you're
Google.
60. It just proves that your kilogram. The kilograms don't work. The drugs don't work.
As
We've been
Richard Ashcroft
indoctrinated with the.
Listen, I want to put something out there for you as well. There's a reason I mentioned
Right.
Pav. It's great to see
Right.
the big man, and he can tank the golf ball quite a long way, as you can imagine.
Right.
But I had a thought. Right, you live right near each other. He said it's about a 10-minute walk from where he lives to where you live. Right.
Yeah.
He's got a swimming pool in his house.
Right. Okay.
On these hot summers, get yourself over there.
Just pop in. Go. Pav.
He would love to have you over.
I bet he's got a lovely house if you've got a swimming pool.
He
I
has.
bet he's up near Belfairs or something.
He lives in the posh part. What's the posh part called?
Ooh, I don't know. There's all. He lives in Lee, I think. So yeah, there's some pretty bougie parts, to be fair. The thing I find is like a lot of people that I know around here who have nice houses. They've
Is
invested.
Chalkwell the nice bit?
Yeah, Chalkwell's.
Yeah.
Chalkwell's nice. Got
Sorry,
a nice
carry on.
beach. Got a nice beach. But yeah, they didn't piss about in London for 20 years. That's the thing. They didn't piss about. They put their roots down. They made their money work for them, and they're in a much better position than I.
What I found really interesting about that part of the world. So Rochford Golf Club, it's nice. It's got the clubhouse is a Grade 1 listed building that used to be Anne Boleyn's house, which is amazing.
Wow.
And it's the only golf club, I think, or golf course in the UK that's got a fully operational church in the middle of it, which is also interesting. Anyway, but I was not. It snakes around the outskirts of Southend Airport.
Yeah.
So the planes basically take off right over your head, which is quite cool. I was not prepared, given that I grew up next to the sea, and maybe it's just been so long that I've forgotten, or maybe it's just a lot more flat out there, because it is much flatter out there. And when I grew up next to the sea, we had Portsdown Hill over the back of Portsmouth, which basically protects you from a lot of the elements. It's so flat out near Southend that
Yeah.
I was not prepared for how windy it was being, how salty that wind was.
Yeah.
I had like salt marks on my skin after.
It fucks up your car. It fucks
Yeah, I
up
bet.
your car. Yeah, all the paint and stuff because of it's very salty water splashing around. Yeah, there was a particularly low flying private jet last night flying over my house, And like I've gotten used to it, but when I've like mates have like come round, I remember a guy called Neil, Sarah's mates, came around and came in the garden, and just as an EasyJet was coming over, and he shat his pants.
Was it? How close is it? How close did it get?
You forget how close it is. I mean, like it's like Rochford and Leon. Rochford. You know where the airport is, and where Leon. It's basically Leon Station. But they obviously come in right over my house. I'm right under the plan, and it's proper mad. Like I've got used to it now, but everybody else goes, "Fucking hell, that plane looks like it's going to crash in your house."
And what's the latest in the day they'll fly, and the earliest they'll fly?
You'll usually get one about 6:30, and then the latest one will be about 11. So it's not bad.
And also, I noticed that you don't. I mean, there's obviously a lot of controversy around people who live under the Heathrow flight path and stuff like that. But there's nowhere near. I mean, there's not that many planes, is there?
Oh, it's like I think 6 flights a day in the summer. Right. It's mad. And then and then the private jet ones, and then the pleasure flights with the fucking blokes with, old World War II planes.
Yeah, I saw a few of those.
Come inside and stuff.
They do the Spitfire pleasure flights from the airfield right near my parents' house.
Really?
At Daedalus Airfield.
Would you ever, now you got kids, like, would you ever indulge? Because I'm used to be of the opinion, it's like, oh, maybe I could, because sometimes you can, I think I said about it on the show, you could get on this app that blokes who need to get their air miles up can basically fly you wherever you need to be. Or a guy will sort of say, look, I'm flying up north, I'm flying like near Newcastle, and for 40 quid, which is much 4 times cheaper than the train, and certainly cheaper than a proper plane. He'll just take you up there and stuff.
Nice. I don't think I can fit in a Spitfire.
No, but like a 2-man plane, like a little sort of
I'd be up for
baby
that.
Cessna or something. Yeah, but then you sort of think they're just so dangerous, those bloody things.
Yeah,
but those ones can land on smaller runways.
That's what I was thinking. I also think they're pretty light, aren't they? So, like, I mean, apparently, I think the real kind of widowmaker is the old helicopter, isn't it?
Yeah. I wouldn't fuck with a helicopter, to be honest.
I remember a friend of mine had a wedding, and it was in one of the Greek islands, and there was talk they were going to fly a helicopter. They were going to fly in a helicopter over the bay and from the wedding venue to the reception and land and stuff. And that was part of the thing they really wanted to do. And another one of our mates, who at the time was a helicopter pilot, was like, "Yeah, don't do that. do not do that in Greece. Without an incredible amount of paperwork. Just don't bother."
I know the FAA guidelines, and I know how closely they're followed in Greece.
Yeah, it's basically that. I think
Wild,
statistically, I mean, you remember that the Leicester City owner? My God,
Leicester City, Kobe Bryant, like it's just Colin McRae. There's a lot of famous. I guess a lot of more famous people go in them, but it's one of those things where it's like they go, oh, yes, but if it starts to fall, the natural camber of the blades will give its own kind of helicopter effect, and it never fucking happens, though, does it? It never happens. No. People talk about the natural the natural spin of the blades as a helicopter dips, but it never fucking happens. They always die. They always die in a fireball. It doesn't
seem to be. I mean, I'm very much a novice on this subject, but it doesn't seem to be much opportunity for you to get out of there alive. You've got a massive spinning decapitator on top of it.
Well, they sort of. I mean, that should be separate from the cab, but I mean, they say that, like, if for whatever reason the engine cuts out, the natural angle of the blades will mean that it'll naturally spin like a sycamore seed, whatever you call it, and spin to the floor. Yeah. And you're like, yeah, but never seen it happen, have we? It's always fucks up, though, doesn't it?
That does not ever seem to be the case. No, I would be very sceptical. I mean, have you done a fair amount of kind of internal flights in places where a lot of their airlines are kind of banned under EU airspace and stuff, like China?
No, I did a couple in. I did one in Kenya and one in South Africa, and they were a bit wonky. There was a Malaysian one, internal one, that was a bit like, had a terrible safety record. It's astonishing that, like, British Airways has never killed anyone, like, for the length that they've been going.
They must have done.
No, never killed anyone. Never.
You being serious?
Yeah, they've had like hull losses and stuff, I think, but they've never killed anyone. I mean that is, and you sort of go, right, okay, well, so I'm flying to Tokyo. I'll be in Tokyo by the time this is out, it's a JAL Japanese airline, Japanese Airways, and it's a code share with British Airways, and you're like, well, does the British Airways extend the British Airways never killed anyone extend to JAL? I don't believe
Star
it does.
Alliance? Is it the wildest?
Is it Star Alliance? Get the One World.
I'm sure
the One World Alliance.
So British Airways have never had a crash.
They've had loads of crashes, but they've never killed anyone, which is an incredible stroke of luck and airmanship.
Yeah, I'm going through these British Airways
can't go through.
Fatalities. Oh, there's one fatality here. British Airways flight 149.
What? Was it a ground fatality? Did it run into someone on the ground? Doesn't count.
Okay. I don't know. I'll have to check later.
Right.
Can I just make a point? Can I just make a point about Che Guevara?
Where's that come from?
Well, because helicopter related. It's helicopter related.
Right. Okay.
So Che Guevara's obviously got the best last words of any person, right?
Right.
Do you know them?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. I think
exactly. Yeah. Famously. Yeah. No, it was shoot, coward. You're only killing a man.
Come on.
It's good, isn't it? But
come on, that's worth being on a T-shirt, isn't it?
I'm fairly certain his body was then strapped to the bottom of a helicopter and then flown around for ages so everyone could see they killed him.
Yeah, yeah. You can't see it from high up.
Maybe they flew low. I mean, maybe it was like one of those Vietnam War helicopters just flying really low. I mean, have you? By the way, speaking of that, have you ever read a book called Chicken Hawk?
No.
That is like one of fucking the best war
sounds
memoirs
like a war
ever.
Yeah. Am I a war memoir kind of guy?
No, but mate, honestly, it's a helicopter pilot in Vietnam.
You are cruising for reform candidate circa 2035 sunshine. All this war stuff in your head.
The thing with the right-wing stuff, there's money in it. There's money in it. Yeah. Oh, my phone has been hacked for 3 years running by a Russian operative.
Russian bot.
And I've accidentally got £5 million in my account. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
That's, in my view, that I would class that under a nice problem to have. But it's a really good book, honestly. People listening to this, they'll if they've read it, they'll completely agree. He's like not a traditional kind of, I'm in the war kind of guy. And Vietnam is obviously famous for producing a lot of memoirs that are beautifully written, very poignant, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So Chicken Hawk's amazing. It's about a guy who I think he gets drafted, but he says, I want to be a pilot. So he goes into helicopter training and he ends up flying like a ridiculous amount of combat missions and surviving. And the reason it's called Chicken Hawk is because there was the parlance of the time around Vietnam soldiers, like you're either a hawk, i.e. you weren't scared, or you're a chicken and you were scared. And he was like, I felt like both the whole time, so I'm going to call myself a chicken hawk.
Nice.
It's really good. It's really, really good.
Are you allowed to wear glasses on being in wars these days?
It's a good question.
Could I be a pilot? Could I train to be a pilot? If they
one of the most poignant. This is a great little unintentional segue, but one of the most poignant deaths in the First World War was Rudyard Kipling's son, who Rudyard Kipling was obviously a very famous character at the time, very famous kind of person. But his son John Kipling was desperate to go into the First World War and get a commission, but he couldn't get one because his eyesight was so bad. And he convinced Rudyard Kipling, his father, to pull some strings and get him a commission. So he finally got him commissioned as a second lieutenant in the Irish Guards, and he was only 18, and he died on, I can't remember what battle it was, but he died in a battle, and the report came back to his family, which was he was last seen on this kind of battlefield, frantically searching for his glasses.
Oh, don't say that.
Yeah,
of what use is that to the family?
They covered it on The Rest is History fairly recently, and they were talking about how Rudyard Kipling's work after that was basically just all about the deaths of children and grief, and apparently it's really, really, really bad, almost impossible for them to get past, really. So there are dangers to wearing glasses in a big conflict, Peter. So I'd urge caution if you're thinking about signing up.
I just think nowadays you can get wraparounds, Oakley's, lovely. You know,
would you want to have contacts, or is that too high risk?
Too high risk. They'd get grubby in the desert. I imagine I'd be in the desert.
What war are you imagining yourself being in?
A war of love. A modern war of love.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, good. This has been the Luke and Pete Show. Another modern war of love. A labour of love, if you will.
Yeah.
For half an hour every Monday and Thursday. If you want to get in touch with the show, hello@lukeandpeteshow.com is the way to do it. We'll see you on Thursday.
Bye.
Look after yourselves, all right? Bye.